Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Inside the Garage here on WFRV Plus. I am your host, Blake Borth's co-host. I did this last week. I don't know what to say. Indy is not with me again today, but the show continues to roll on. We're going to continue our off-season recap. We kind of started out with the bottom of the drivers here in the Cup Series, and we moved our way up. We are now approaching. We click on the right tab here. Drivers 26th to 21st in points. We added a driver because it's going to be easier for us going down the road for our recaps to have a nice 5 until we get to Kyle Larson up there at number 1. Giving out grades. We're giving up everything. Some news, though, before we head into that, going into the in the NASCAR world, the big thing going on is the active lawsuit between NASCAR and 2311 in Front Row Motorsports. Denny Hamlin was emotional in court. Both sides are going against each other, and I don't know much about it, but it's just kind of looking at it from a very, very, very distant perspective, and it doesn't feel like a good look for the sport of NASCAR to have one of your most prolific drivers and two of your teams going at it. I think I saw something from a NASCAR writer on X, and it was that if NASCAR wins this, then the charter goes away for 2311 in Front Row. They race as open cars for next year, and they most likely will have to shut down because of the parts and everything and making the races, and it would not be good for them, wouldn't be good for a lot of people. So it's a bad light on the sport, in my opinion. I hope to see a good resolution come out of this, but neither here nor there. There's been not really much silly season rumors. We're kind of in that dry stalemate of the off season where there's just really nothing going on. I know a big thing is Corey Heim does not have a full-time ride yet in any of the 3 levels in NASCAR. That's something to be watchful of. It's just definitely interesting to see how this whole offseason has panned out. I'm pretty sure the 10 for Kaulig Racing is still open. There's no driver confirmed. I think Ty Dillon was supposed to sign a contract, but that has not happened. But definitely going to be interesting to see what comes about as we reach February and get closer. I think we're like 80 days away from the season starting. It can get here faster. I know me and Indy are looking forward to going to Chicago this year, but let's jump right into it. That's enough of talking, enough yapping about all the other nonsense. If there's anything I missed, let me know. It's been hectic. It's been hectic. So take a look here. We're gonna get started with 26th in points in his return to full season racing in the Cup Series. You can see him right there. It was AJ Allmendinger. He returned to full-time racing after another year of part-time racing. He ran 16 races a year ago, or in 2024. Came back to race in all 36 events this season. Allmendinger finishing 26th in points, 649 total points, 71 stage points he accumulated. He led 42 laps this year, 2 top 5s, 7 top 10s. He had an average start of 16th and average finish of 21st. 8 DNFs, though, a big hit there on Dinger. His best finish, as I look through here briefly, he had a 9th at the Roval. He's always good there. He had a 5th at Darlington this year in the fall race, a 6th at the Chicago Street Course, a 4th in the Coke 600, a 9th at Bristol, 7th at Homestead, 8th at Las Vegas. After wrecking out of the Daytona 500, or actually blowing an engine in the Daytona 500, he started out the season very hot, and then became inconsistent as the season went on. Allmendinger's return, I don't know. It felt a little different to me. He still showed the speed. I mean, a big one that really proved it to me was his race in the Coke 600. Started 5th, finished 4th. Oh, goodness. Excuse me. Oh, goodness. He was there. I mean, he was 15th in points leaving Chicago. He fell down to, 17th, 18th, and then I had a rough end of the season. That 9th of, in terms of the playoff races, that 5th at Darlington, and then that 9th at the Roval was his highest finishes. After that, it was a 19th at Las Vegas. It was the DNFs. It was in those 10 races of the playoffs, he had 4 incidents and took him out of the races in those events. This team can only build more. I mean, when you have a very high class driver like AJ Allmendinger, who's become a backbone for Kaulig. He's really been their rock over there. This 16 car, he's always going to be a pick at the road courses. I know with Shane Van Gisbergen being there, he's kind of overshadowed, but he's always good there, good at road courses. At COTA, he led 2 laps, wasn't really good there, finished 30th, but then, you move on. Mexico City, he finished 13th. That's a good finish. Chicago, like I mentioned, was a 6th, 18th at Sonoma, 11th at Watkins Glen. The Dinger can get it done. I would watch out for him in 2026. He is definitely one of my sleeper picks going into this next year of what he can do. I give the 16 though. The DNFs, he's been verbal with the ECR engines, and he's been a big guy against that, against having an engine that can last. Compared from his last full-time year in 2023, his average finish went down. His average start increased. He had, if I look at top 5s, top 10s, he had same amount of top 10s, less top 5s. He won in 2023. Compared to his part-time year last year, he still had a higher average finish. His average start was tremendous. But in 2023, he finished 21st in points. I'm going to give him a season grade of, I'm going to give him a C. I mean, it was, I don't know if he exceeded standards. I feel like in 25th to 20th is where you expect him to be. To be on the outside is a little disheartening, maybe a little bit in that Kaulig camp out of this guy. But I don't know. I think a C. Allmendinger definitely has chance to improve and be better and be, he can win a race. I wouldn't be surprised. You can't count him out at the restrictor plate tracks. Can't count anyone out in those tracks. But Allmendinger, I'm going to give him a C on the season. That brings us to 25th in points. That brings us to John Hunter Nemechek. He had 664 points. Or excuse me again. He had 62 stage points. That's the wrong driver. John Hunter Nemechek. 2 top 5s, 8 top 10s. He led 37 laps, an average finish of 20th, an average start of 25th for this 42 car. Oh, I clicked the wrong button. Stand by. And he led 37 laps, 3 DNFs, some good finishes out of this team. Was a 6th at Gateway, a 4th in that Darlington race in the fall. He had a 12th at the Brickyard 400. Back-to-back sixths at Mexico City and at Pocono, an 8th at Texas, a 5th in the Daytona 500. John Hunter Nemechek impressed. That is safe to say, or less to say. I don't know however you want to say it. He impressed in this 42, and this is why that skill is showing for John Hunter Nemechek. Transcendent, night and day. From his rookie year in 2020, we don't want to talk about that. But from 2024 to 2025, amazing. When he went back to Xfinity for that 1 year in 2023, he won those races, 7 races. John Hunter proved in the Cup Series this year that he can be a threat to win. And Legacy got better as a whole. This team got tremendously better. Year comparison, he only had 4 top 10s last year. He finished 34th in points. He had an average finish of 25th. John Hunter he was in the back. He was not good last year. And they flipped a switch over there at Legacy Motor Club. And my goodness, did they flip it fast. This team was competitive. And it was at a variety of tracks. It wasn't at those super speedways. That 5th at Daytona, it probably wouldn't have happened without that big wreck. I mean, that's where you saw Jimmy Johnson finish 3rd. But it was Pocono with the 6th and Mexico City with the 6th. He ran good at these tracks. He's been good at Bristol as of late. He's been good. He's showed it in this 42 car. The expectation is to only go higher for next year. That's the only expectation. Maybe get 12 top 10s, 5 top 5s, lead maybe 50 plus laps, and maybe win. Could he get a Josh Berry type win where he has the speed? Where Barry had the speed at Vegas this past year and he won it off pure speed. Could the 42 do something like that again in 2026? I wouldn't be surprised. He he probably wishes they were going back to Mexico City because he was good there. But this 42 car is high on my list to do something. He rarely gets the car involved in any accidents. I give him a B+, a B+ for this 42 team to have literally flipped it and go from 34th to 25th in points. It's magical. It's season shifting, and 42 car. Watch out. I think John Hunter is a class act. He is a top driver still, top prospect still in this sport. I like the way he is transcending, going up. But we're going to take our first commercial break. When we come back, we're going to have the next two drivers on our list. It's his teammate, Erik Jones, and Carson Hocevar. We still got next two on the board, but stay with us, guys. We're going to head to our first commercial break. We'll be right back. Off-season recapping still continuing here on Inside the Garage. I'm Blake Bortz back with you again as always. Look at that nice little 43. Look at that paint scheme. Oh, that one too. Oh, beautiful paint schemes over there at Legacy Motor Club. Erik Jones, that Jones boy is what Indy likes to call him. He was back again in the 43 car. And the night and day for this team at Legacy Motor Club and this 43 team. Erik Jones utterly doubling what he did a season ago. Finished 4 spots higher in the points, increased his average finish, increased his average start from 24 to 2025. 11 laps led. He had 4 top 5s, 11 top 10s, 4 DNFs. Finishes for this team 5th at Texas, 7th at Nashville, 5th at Atlanta, a 3rd at Darlington, a 5th at the Daytona. I thought he was going to win that summer race. He had good finishes. Darlington, definitely thought he was going to get it done again, winning the Southern 500 again. Again, the 43 just showing out. Erik Jones is still such a good driver. Legacy Motor Club has picked a good driver to lead their flagship 43 car. He's been good ever since he stepped foot. Was let go from Joe Gibbs when they picked Christopher Bell over Erik Jones. Erik in his first year had he finished 18th in points, had 13 top 10s, 3 top 5s, had that win at that Southern 500 race. It has there's just a lot to say about Erik Jones. When you're at a big team like Joe Gibbs Racing, and you only put up 2 wins, your best points finish is 15th. There's nowhere for you to really go from there. And he was a highly touted prospect, and it didn't work out at Joe Gibbs, and he's found a home here at Legacy Motor Club. They're trying to rekindle that 2022 season over there, and they're getting there. Get more 4 top 5s. That's more than he's had since that Joe Gibbs Racing. 5 top 10s is a little worse, but you can't say much about it when his average finish is getting back to where it needs to be. Listen, Legacy Motor Club is going to get to where they need to go on the back of Erik Jones. He's going to take this team as far as they can. They're getting more help. They're getting more support. This 43 is gonna break out. Wouldn't be. I feel like I'm saying this all the time now. It could be the breakout year. Could be next year. Could be 2026. In terms of this season, I'm gonna give him a B-. Erik Jones, I felt like the hype is continuing to grow year in, year out. 28th, you can only go up again from there. 24th to be inside the top 25 in points. That's remarkable from this team. At one point, they were 30th in points after race 10 at Talladega. He even got up to 15th in the point standings after Atlanta. But then, fall down a cliff, and, a bad end of the year gets him in 24th in the points. But you can't ask for much there, but hey, what are you going to do? Erik Jones, B-. Moving on, we're going to move to probably the hottest, hottest, rootinest, tootinest guy on the NASCAR field, Carson Hocevar, in his second full-time season, 144 stage points. When I saw that, I was baffled. The Carson Hocevar really showed out in year number 2. He definitely, his average finish was a decrease, and then his average start was an increase. He did lose some spots in the points, but he was up front more often. 9 top 10s, 2 top 5s, 122 laps led, 23rd, a penultimate finish in his debut, or not debut. Wow. For his sophomore season, Hocevar finished second at Atlanta. Thought he was going to get done there. An 11th at Bristol, 6th at Talladega, won a pole at Texas, 2nd at Nashville, 10th at Indianapolis, and 8th at Iowa. He was good. The 77 seemed to be out of the limelight a little more than what you would think. He showed out. This Carson Hocevar continuing to grow. Spire as a whole, I know I touched on it with Justin Haley a week ago, but this Spire team is getting better when you add in a guy like Hocevar and add in a mentor like Michael McDowell. I know those two had a little bit of a falling out, a spat, whatever you want to call it. He's definitely got a chance to be a very good bright star in this sport. In terms of a grade of this 77, the point standing don't show that he was good, and there were races he should have won. He led 22 laps at Texas, started on the pole. He was good, but then had an issue. I think he had a pit issue, fell to the back, then fell out there late. Michigan, thought he was going to get a nice home win there at his home state of Michigan. 32 laps led. Couldn't quite get it together. He led 26 laps at Bristol. Hocevar has got to get a B- too. Increasing your top 10s and your top 5s and leading over 100 laps and getting all those stage points. They're playing the game the right way. Hocevar, sooner rather than later, that bad luck's going to turn good, and he's going to find himself in victory lane. A B- for one of the brightest young spots. Bright hot stars, hot chili peppers in the sport in Carson Hocevar. We're going to we're gonna go to our last break. What am I talking about? Oh, holy goodness! It's a Wednesday. We're recording this on a Wednesday. It's a Wednesday. Oh, my mic just whatever. We're gonna go take our final break. When we come back, we're gonna have Michael McDowell and Kyle Busch. I know, right? Kyle Busch in the year 2025, finishing in the 20s in the NASCAR Cup Series points. We're going to have all that detail and analysis when we come back after the break. Stay with us, guys. Year 1 of Michael McDowell in Spire Motorsports. I don't know. There it is again. The gut reaction. It was better than his year before. I feel like you're going to see Kyle Busch, but that's fine. Michael McDowell moving to Spire after many seasons over there at Front Row, taking more of a leadership role with this team here at Spire. McDowell, one less top 10, one more top 5 than a year ago. He had 2 poles this year down from his 6. 6 a year ago. So 6 top 10s, 3 top 5s, 96 laps led, an average start of 15th, an average finish of 18th. It was his second best career finish in the sport for the 71. And McDowell definitely is a veteran of the sport and has shown his restrictor plate prowess late in his career. He just has it figured out. This 71 car was abysmal with Zane Smith in it a season ago, and he turned it around. Him and Travis Peterson really turned into a duo that was that could be unstoppable at these plate tracks. An 11th, 13th, and 11th to start the year this year. He backed that up with a 7th in the Coke 600, a 5th at Mexico, a 4th at Sonoma, an 8th at Loudon, a 5th at the Charlotte Road Course. The end of the year with an 8th at Phoenix. Michael McDowell is still turning heads at the ripe old age of, let me go back. What do you want to guess the age? Any guesses out there at home? At 40. A guy that was written off for a majority of his career racing in the 95 Levine family. Levine family racing car. Points finishes of 30th, 26th in the late 2000s. And then he got the win in the 500. And that really turned his career around. And this opportunity at Spire is presenting itself for the 71 team. McDowell is teaching a young Carson Hocevar. He's going to have another veteran teammate with him this year in Daniel Suarez. The dynamic of that team is you'd feel like McDowell is your lead driver. Hocevar is your prospect, your young and upcoming driver. And Daniel Suarez is there to get you good finishes, get you maybe a win or two, and just be, the moneymaker of the team realistically. Year one of McDowell being a head man, a head man of a bigger team, of a growing team, is phenomenal. Spire is growing. It's ever so growing with their Rams partnership now. McDowell's at the forefront of it all. 2026, he'd be a pick probably at a couple road courses. He's good at Sonoma. He's good at Watkins Glen too. No more Chicago street race for that 71 team, but him and Van Gisbergen, I feel like, going to go at some bouts. I give McDowell, I give him a B minus. Not much you can do better in a first season with a new team other than win. So McDowell only but up for the 71 team. He'd probably be a pick for the Daytona 500 sleeper pick. You got to make your bets. Put in McDowell Daytona 500 winner. Thank me later. Maybe. I wouldn't do it. You should take Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch, you can see him floating on these list of pictures with Michael McDowell in that Slurpee 7-Eleven car. Kyle Busch, it got worse. I don't think anyone thought it could have gotten worse for this 8 team. Kyle Busch led only 88 laps, 10 top 10s, 3 top 5s, an average finish of 17th, an average start of finish 10th. He was just so bland. Again, this 8 team could not figure it out. They can't rekindle that 2023 magic that they had, and it's heartbreaking. I was a big enemy of Kyle Busch for a majority of my lifetime, and him going to the 8, it hurts to see. He's such a big guy for the sport. He's done so much for the sport. He's a 3-time champion. Kyle Busch is just he's just it just hurt. It hurt to see it. Let's take a look back at his season. A 7th at Atlanta, a 5th at Coda, an 8th at Phoenix. And right there, you looked like Kyle Busch was back. You would have thought Kyle Busch, Rowdy, was back. And then he wouldn't re-enter the top 10 until Darlington. And then it would be a while again from then. He into Michigan with an 8th. Late again with a 5th at Chicago, 10th at Sonoma, an 8th at Darlington, an 8th at Las Vegas. He ended the year on a high note in 5th. I don't know. Kyle Busch they got to figure it out. They got to figure it out over there at RCR. Austin Dillon, Richmond, he's not going to win Richmond every year. It's not sustainable. Kyle Busch, they got to figure it out. I mean, let's go back to his 2023 for just a second. I'm going to go back to 2023 here for Kyle Busch, and he proved it. He won at Auto Club, race 2 with this team at Richard Childress Racing. He won at Talladega. He won at Gateway. He was good for a majority. But were the signs there at the end of 23 with the finishes of 20th at a Bristol track? He's been so dominant his entire career. A 34th at Texas, a 25th at Talladega. He had put up back-to-back thirds with an 18th at Homestead. 18th at Homestead, off the pace at Martinsville in 23 to end the year. And then you go into 2024. You think, all right, Kyle Busch just put up 3 wins. That 8 car is going to be good. He's going to be dominant once again. He finished 3rd in that 3-wide finish at Atlanta last year. He was 9th at COTA, 9th at Texas, 4th at Dover. But the finishes weren't there. I don't know. Kyle Busch, I give him a C. The expectation was a rebound from the driver. The equipment might not be there, but the rebound from the driver, and it didn't happen. Unfortunately, it didn't happen for this 8 team. I know Kyle's definitely. Do you regret the decision to going to RCR? Do you feel like that's a bad decision? I don't know. I mean, sooner rather than later, it was always gonna be between Kyle and Denny, to stay at the team. Ty was always gonna get the job to run for his grandfather. You can look at that either way, but if Ty Gibbs' ascension didn't happen, then maybe Kyle Busch doesn't feel that. Maybe he gets other sponsors, the whole fiasco. But it was always going to be between Denny and Kyle. And, ultimately it was Denny. They picked Denny. It's going to be the same way down the line once Brent Cruz is ready, because he's Joe Gibbs' top prospect. And now with him running about 7/8 of the season, same thing could happen to Denny. But Kyle Busch, a C+, C-, grade for the 8 car. They're going to figure it out. I hope they can figure it out, and Kyle Busch can return to victory lane once again for Richard Childress Racing. Well, there you guys have it. We got through 6 drivers today. Holy. We love it. We love doing it. We love talking about it. Next week, we're going to talk about the next 5. That'll be 20th through 15th. So we're going to hit our first 2 playoff drivers. And we're going to get through all of RFK, and the first Joe Gibbs driver will make an appearance on this list. So thank you guys so much for watching Inside the Garage here on WFRV Plus. Another reminder, if you missed Indiana Shields' interview with NASCAR driver Natalie Decker, make sure to head to WFRV's YouTube page. You guys can check it out there, see the full clip. If you missed this show and any other show on Inside the Garage, make sure to check out our WFRV YouTube page. So I'm your host, Blake Borth. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys next week.